Jack Ma didn't grow up with privilege. He was born in Hangzhou, China, a small boy in a poor family with no connections, no internet, and no real opportunities. He failed his school exams. He failed his university entrance exam twice. His math scores were near the bottom of the class. Teachers told him he'd never be successful. But even when the world doubted him, Jack quietly believed that maybe, just maybe, he was meant for something more. After finally graduating, Jack Ma thought things would get easier. But life had other plans. He applied for dozens of jobs and was rejected by every single one. 30 applications, 30 rejections. Even KFC came to his city and hired 23 out of 24 applicants. Jack was the only one they didn't want. It seemed like no company, no school, no system wanted him. But Jack never blamed the world. He simply said, "I'll create something of my own." Jack Ma dreamed of learning from the best. He applied to Harvard, not once, but 10 times, and each time he got rejected. But instead of feeling like a failure, he kept moving. In 1995, during a trip to the US, Jack discovered the internet for the very first time. He typed the word beer and saw no results from China. That moment changed his life. He didn't fully understand technology, but he saw a future no one else in China saw, a future built online. Jack returned to China with a vision no one believed in. He gathered 17 of his closest friends and tried to explain his dream. A website where Chinese businesses could sell to the world. 17 friends. 16 thought he was crazy. But Jack didn't need everyone to believe. Just a few. In a small apartment in Hangzhou, with $2,000 and zero tech experience, they started building a company. He called it Alibaba, a name people around the world could say. They had no business model, no customers, no money. But they had one thing no one could take: belief. The early days of Alibaba were brutal. No investors, no revenue, no trust from the market. Most Chinese people didn't even know what the internet was. Jack and his team worked from one tiny room, sleeping on the floor, eating cheap food, working day and night with no promise of success. Banks refused to lend them money. Competitors laughed. Friends begged Jack to quit. But he told his team, "We are not afraid of losing. We are afraid of not trying." That mindset kept them going when everything else failed. In 2000, the dot-com bubble burst. All over the world, internet startups collapsed overnight. Investors pulled out. Stock markets crashed. People said the internet was dead. Jack Ma's tiny company faced bankruptcy. Salaries were delayed. Friends left. But Jack didn't panic. He told his remaining team, "We are not an American company. We are Chinese. We don't follow bubbles. We build value." Instead of giving up, they doubled down. While others ran away, Jack Ma stayed standing, and that decision changed everything. Alibaba survived the crash and came back stronger. Slowly, businesses across China started joining. People began to trust buying and selling online. In 2005, Yahoo invested $1 billion in Alibaba, the largest investment in a Chinese internet company at the time. That moment turned Jack Ma into a national figure. He wasn't just a founder anymore, he was a symbol of what was possible. And yet, he stayed humble. He said, "I'm not a tech guy, I'm just a teacher with a crazy dream." But that dream was working. Alibaba was no longer just surviving. It was thriving. In 2014, Alibaba went public on the New York Stock Exchange. It became the largest IPO in history, raising $25 billion in one day. Jack Ma, once rejected by 30 companies, was now one of the richest men in the world. He didn't build a company. He built an ecosystem for buyers, sellers, and small businesses. Reporters asked him what it felt like to be a billionaire. He said, "Money brings responsibility." If you have $1 million, that's your money. If you have $1 billion, that's not your money. That's the trust of people. In that moment, Jack Ma didn't just win for himself. He inspired an entire generation. Jack Ma eventually stepped down as Alibaba's CEO, not because he failed, but because he succeeded. He said he wanted to return to his roots, to teach, to travel, to inspire. He built more than a company. He built hope, a boy who failed his exams, who was rejected by Harvard, who couldn't get a job at KFC, went on to lead one of the greatest business stories of all time. Jack Ma proved that success doesn't start with talent, money, or connections. It starts with belief and the courage to keep going when no one else believes in you. That is the real power of a dream.